Welcome to GLHF, the world's first podcast on the side of a snowy mountain, sledding as frogs.
The thing that you need to know about this is I'm going to give you one chance to guess where the name cornhole comes from. Because if you think about it's actually like stupid how obvious it is.
For context, we're standing in a cornhole arena, is what I described it as. There's
I figured they would be able to sense
us, which is, I guess, for those that don't know, it's a game involving throwing beanbags into a hole in a plank of wood.
Right. And so the name, we talked about this for a second, and I've looked it up, and I feel really quite dumb having read the real name. And I feel like it's almost so obvious that it's hard to think of. But just think about it for a second and tell me where do you think the name came from?
Are the beanbags full of corn?
Yeah, that's all it was. They just didn't have beans back. It was corn was the thing they had, so they just threw bags of corn in the hole.
It's an interesting way to shorten that idea, though, to just say cornhole. Corn goes in hole. Cornhole.
Well, yeah. Are there any other
the corn
sports?
In the cornhole.
Are you maybe like, do you want to go throw some corn in the hole? Like, do you want to go do some hole? Yeah, I don't know. It is weird. You're right. I can't think of a way to make it make sense.
Do you know how, oh my gosh, what is it called? Like, say you have a grain silo. There's a tube that you put the grain in that goes up into the silo. What is that called? I used to know this.
The tube that goes up into the silo?
There's tubes. There's tubes that they're transporting
on
the
grain.
Grain.
Outside.
On the outside, yes.
I've never known this. Is this a thing that people do know? Like commonly?
I mean, if you work with grain,
you're saying it as though you're saying, like, you know the thing on the back of the car that, like, you're trying to get me to guess bumper. And it's like, yeah, everyone knows a bumper. You're just like, oh, those things. Well,
because you see them, like, when you're driving through the country, you'll see, like, a grain silo, which is a big, tall metal structure that is full of corn or beans or what have you, whatever they're growing at the farm. And then there's these metal, like, tubes that are going, like, diagonally from the ground up into the silo.
Right.
And you
diagonally.
You pour the corn into them
straight.
and well, gosh, I need to figure out this
what you're
word.
Talking about?
I need to figure out the word so that I can actually look it up. Grain silo tubes.
Grain silo parts labeled grain silo diagram. Here, I found one. Venting pipe, cone bottom.
Roof.
Loading pipe. It has a name though, is what you're saying.
I thought it had a different name. Oh my god, is it just a tube conveyor?
Oh, are you talking about the ones where it's like the long ramp going up to it?
Yeah, like going from the ground to the top of the silo.
But it doesn't start up. It's not flush with the silo. It starts like further away and it goes up and then it like, it's like a conveyor belt, right?
Yeah.
I see. Okay. I thought you were just talking about the vertical storage grain silos that were not, because like they get loaded in a variety of ways, right? Some of those grain silo conveyors are all the way at the top and they just go across like a tower and then enter through the top part.
Okay, well, I'm talking about the diagonal ones.
Got it.
And,
diagonal grain silo conveyor belts.
I just thought of this because we were talking about, dry corn in a sack, and it made me think about dry corn.
Right.
And I just remember I was watching a YouTube video one time and found out how those work because I never really thought about it. But then if you think about it, you're like, well, how would a tube carry grain upwards against gravity and into the silo? And it's because there's basically like a spiral kind of helix thing in it that's just turning. It makes a lot of sense when you see it.
Oh, yeah, that's genius. That's kind of like how they used to use those as it was like the Romans or whatever. If you just put like a screw thing inside of a pipe and put it into the water, if you can spin the screw, it'll bring water up from like a lower source and like basically suck water out of a thing. So you can basically get water somewhere that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get it.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is be able to spin a wheel, which obviously there was many ways to do that, including abusing animals or attaching it to a river or whatever. Yeah.
Hey,
That's how they did it.
Some of those horses
facts.
want to work, I hear.
It wasn't just horses, ma'am. Unfortunately, it was anything that they could throw hot coals at, they would.
Ooh.
Is the point.
Okay.
Not good. Yeah, we've been messing in that.
I would have to say
that's
no
not
to
a
that.
recent invention. We're gonna both say no to it right now on the record. I have 2 things I want to talk about today. If you don't want to start with anything in particular other than grain silos.
I don't have anything important. I guess I don't know if your things are important either, but
no, definitely not.
Okay.
And actually, one of them I don't want to talk about, but I just want to say that this week I had an experience. Let me know. Okay, do you know what a what are they called? Like a balloon syringe? You know, like a balloon syringe is. What do they call those? Is that what they're called?
What?
Or like a tiny turkey baster. You know what that is?
Yeah, like a dropper is what I would.
But bigger than a dropper. It's like in between a dropper and a turkey baster.
Okay.
It's called a something syringe, whatever. So I had an experience involving one of those. And you ever have the feeling of seeing something and going, wow, that's a lot bigger than I thought it could be? You ever have that feeling?
All
about
the time.
anything? Okay, so I just want everyone to know I had a really unique experience involving those 2 things this week. And I'm not going to go into any more detail. But wow, I hope you get to experience that someday. Anyway, part 2. Last week we were talking about
that reminds
yearning.
me of a story I've told to my viewers before about a experience I had, which I also won't go into detail. Getting a emergency dental procedure.
Oh, haven't you talked about something like that on the pod?
Probably, yeah. But it involved a syringe and a large amount of something.
Not good.
But that's all. That's all.
Anytime you're having an experience that's medical adjacent and involves the feeling of, wow, that's a lot more than I thought. Just that, it's not a good time.
No, it's not.
Or it's an interesting time.
It's not.
Whatever it is. But
sorry,
it happens.
You were
it's
trying
part
to
of
move
life.
on quickly, so let's do that because some people really don't like when we talk about syringes on the podcast, which happens too often. I don't know why.
I watched a film this week. I don't watch films that often. I watched a film, and it reminded me of our conversation about.
I've been watching
you
films
said last
too,
week.
Dude.
Yeah? Oh, amazing. Let's do a film show.
But tell me about yours.
We were talking about Yearning last week because you were like, I like the Star Wars prequels because of Yearning. And I watched this film called Wuthering Heights with Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie. Have you seen this?
Oh, no, but we talked about this a couple weeks ago because I was like, I'm going to go see it, but I still haven't.
You still didn't?
No.
It's kind of a banger. I kind of really liked it.
Okay.
But it's like, it is, so that feeling that you're describing about the prequels, that just like sort of like disgusting yearning, that like endless problematic yearning. It's kind of like a perfect movie version of just that whole feeling. I think a lot, people like the book a lot, and it's not as nuanced or intelligent as the book maybe.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really great. So I wanted to recommend that to you.
Well, damn. I think I was kind of turned off by it because so many fans of the book were so against it. But I was also interested to see what it was like, because I know it is supposed to be kind of different, and there's like Charlie XCX made the soundtrack and stuff, so. Yeah,
the music's great. But it just is that, like, you wouldn't be able to make that movie better without fundamentally changing how, like, melodramatic and adolescent it is, which is kind of like what's so great about, like, that bit of the prequels. Or, have you seen Twilight? Do you like Twilight?
Dude, I feel like we talk about Twilight all the time, obviously.
All right, skip that. Forget it. Have we ever talked about Twilight on the... Really?
Yes.
What did we say about it?
At least mentioning that, like, we both consumed Twilight media as teens or whatever. We've talked about it.
The film, though, specifically?
I don't know. Isn't it all wrapped into one?
I guess so. But the films have a very particular vibe.
Yeah.
But also has a lot of yearning. Again, not as good as Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights is a very good version of that feeling. So put it on your list. That's what I would say. Great music, very problematic situations. Well, it's like, Have you seen anything Jacob Elordi's in? He's always
honestly
misbehaving.
No. What else is he in?
Okay.
I know he's like big
Euphoria,
right now. What did he do?
He was in Euphoria. He was in Saltburn, where I think he was eating. Never mind. It's just stuff like that, where he's just playing hot, problematic guys.
Right.
And that's similar to Wuthering Heights. Those heights were withering. Thankfully, Margot Robbie's also very problematic in this movie, so it's just a bi-directional toxicity.
I forgot it was Margot Robert. Margot Robert.
Robert Margot, as we call her. So that's my film. That's what I saw this week, is a little Wuthering Heights. What about you?
I've been watching a series of films, actually, about the fockers, such as Meet the Fockers.
Are you serious?
The first one is actually just called Meet the Parents, and then it's Meet the Fockers, and then it's Little Fockers. Me and Noah have been watching it. We've only watched the first two.
Huh.
Have you seen these?
No. I don't think it's my kind of thing, but maybe
not
it
really.
is. I mean, maybe you could convince me. Owen Wilson, right? And is it a Ben Stiller?
It's mainly Ben Stiller.
It's like Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson type stuff.
Owen Wilson is kind of very much a side character in the second one.
Not Jim Carrey. It's not Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey is not in it. No.
Okay, all right.
It's
but it's a Ben Stiller, big Ben Stiller time.
Ben Stiller and
BBST, as we say.
Let me double check this name so that I don't sound stupid. Yeah, Robert De Niro.
Is this related to I was going to say, is this related to because
father-in-law?
There was a more recent one of those.
Well, there's a new one coming out
called
that Ariana Grande is going to be in, so I have to go see it because I'm a fangirl.
Okay.
So,
is this why you started?
I'm watching them, so I know the lore. I'm watching them, so I know the lore of the Fokker family.
Hey. So, I always got the impression that these movies were about. I always just assumed it was like someone going to meet their in-laws, and the in-laws are its crazy family. Is that the vibe?
That's kind of the vibe, except so the main character is Ben Stiller. And I will say a very young Ben Stiller in the first one. I need to look up how old he was when the first one came out. But he looks so young even compared to the second one. I think there was a pretty big gap in between them. There must have been. But he's the main guy. He's going to meet the parents of his girlfriend that he hopefully wants to marry. One of his goals on this trip is to ask the dad's permission. Very traditional.
Robert De Niro.
Right, Robert De Niro. So it's
perfect.
It's kind of like meeting your father-in-law, and he's a strict hard ass that doesn't want to accept you, but also a little bit kooky. But also Ben Stiller's a little bit kooky, so it's like the first one is a misunderstanding comedy kind of, and also just everybody's just a wacky character.
Okay.
Something that shocked me about the first one though is I've only ever seen Ben Stiller in very wacky comedy roles, and he's extremely straight man in the first one, and extremely soft spoken. Even between the first and the second one, in the second one he is acting a little more like the Ben Stiller that I know. In the first one it almost seems like he's shy and scared to say his lines. He's talking so quietly and so reserved the whole time.
What's your experience with Ben Stiller as a guy?
Not much, to be honest. I don't think I've seen that much of what he's in, except I've seen clips of didn't he do some movie where
Zoolander
he's Zoolander,
Dodgeball, and that kind of goofy stuff?
He's a hairdresser or something. What is?
I think so. I don't watch any of these movies, but I think that I
haven't seen
correct.
him in a lot of things, but I know that when I have seen him, he's very kind of out there and wacky, and he really was not in Meet the Parents.
He was just a regular guy.
He was a regular guy, and if anything, very shy, which was funny. And I don't know if that's because that was the character, or that's because he as a person he was like that. I don't know.
Okay, how far into this ordeal are you? How many of these films have you seen?
I've seen 2. So I think there's only one more and then the new one that's coming out is going to be the fourth one.
So you've seen Meet the Parents.
It's a saga rivaling
Meet the Fockers.
The best of them, you know. It's a
Star
series
Wars,
for all of time.
Meet the Parents, right? Of the two, which are they? They are funny. I guess they must be because you kept watching after the first one.
Yeah, it's also like I'm entertained by comedy movies sometimes by like what they think is funny, or like I'm going into it not really expecting much, and then sometimes I get to be pleasantly surprised by a joke that I actually liked, and that's fun. But yeah, mostly for the lore. I'm mostly like taking diligent notes on the lore, so I know it's exactly what's going on in the new one.
Are we teasing something here, Mem?
No, I don't think I'm going to make any content about this if this is what you're saying. This is just how I live my life.
Are you literally taking notes, though?
No, that was a joke.
Okay, thank you, man. You played it really straight, and I was like, oh, we're making a video. And you're like, I'm not making a video. I'm just taking notes on Meet the Fockers.
As stupid as I am, and as much as I forget stuff quickly, there's not enough to remember about these that I would need to write it down, frankly.
Okay.
But I will say, I don't know why, and I guess I shouldn't be surprised because I never really agree with movie reviews. I think movie reviews are almost always kind of dumb. And people change their minds all the time. Like, things will be reviewed horribly one year, and then, like, 5 years later, everybody will think it's the best thing ever. And I just try to, watch things with an open mind. Like Wuthering Heights, I guess maybe I shouldn't have... I let the reviews get to me, and I didn't go see it.
Yeah, I was well, it's interesting because the thing with movie reviews is, like, they're, generally speaking, they just have, like, a really specific perspective. And so a movie like Wuthering Heights is never going to get good reviews, even if it's the best version of Wuthering Heights, you know? Like, for the thing they were going for, like, if a movie gets great reviews, that tells you it's probably really good in a specific way. And there's maybe like 4 or 5 different ways, I guess, that movie reviewers can see things. But there are certain movies that just reviewers just say just won't like it no matter what.
But anyway, I was surprised that apparently the first one, Meet the Parents, got better reviews at the time than Meet the Fockers. But I liked Meet the Fockers more, so there you go.
Well, like, because it was funnier?
I thought so, yeah. But, I mean, you know what? Maybe that just says something about my sense of humor. But that's the thing, everybody's different. So,
well, what type of humor is it? Does it get, like, progressively, like, more base, the humor? That, like, happens a lot with these comedies, is they get let's get into dumber and sillier. Please.
Meet the Parents.
I thought we already had, but let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Again, level 2, getting into it.
All right.
Deep analysis.
This is the Meet the Fockers iceberg.
Meet the Fockers iceberg.
Take me down. Sink my Titanic. Iceberg.
The thing is, that YouTube video probably does exist, and it's probably an hour long.
If not, you were the perfect person.
The Fockers iceberg. Okay. Meet the Parents. There were some funny moments just in, like, how fucking awkward both of their characters are. Like, Robert De Niro's character is very, like, he's supposed to be, in the beginning you think he's, like, a hard ass, but then he's just, like, very socially weird. Okay. So that's where some of the comedy comes from. But then also, what I thought was kind of lame about it is that a lot of the comedy in, like, the last third or so just comes from, like, oh, everything's going wrong, and now Ben Stiller accidentally set the house on fire and lost the cat, and the cat knocked something over, just and there's a sewage explosion, and the yard is full of sewage, and it's like, it just keeps getting worse. And that's just like annoying to me, because I'm like, it's just like,
just like series of bad luck I don't care.
Yeah.
You know,
there's nothing interesting about it, really. It's just like, oh, okay, everything's going wrong, and that's supposed to be funny because here's another thing going wrong again.
Right.
So that's why, especially the end of that one, I didn't think it was that funny at the end. Meet the Fockers. I wonder what they said about it. Let me look up what the reviews said.
So typically, man, when you do film reviews on this show sometimes, right? And so typically during your film reviews, your critiques, you kind of come to the class with like a scene that we should watch. So for example, the opening scene of the Hulk movie by Ang Lee, or the grandma masturbating scene from, I don't even remember what that movie was. Is there a scene from Meet the Parents or Meet the Fockers that you think we should all watch to like understand what's happening to us right now?
Shit, I don't know.
What about Meet the Parents movie clip, Kevin the X? Is Kevin the X funny, or perhaps Puff the Magic Dragon?
Wait, okay, that is Owen Wilson, so he is in the first one, but he's a side character for sure.
He's Kevin the X, I assume.
Yeah. It's also another reason, another thing that I don't like about both of them is that a lot of the comedy is from the fact that the two main characters, like the couple, it's Ben Stiller and this lady that he's with, don't communicate about anything, and especially she doesn't communicate to him about anything.
Oh my god!
So he's going to meet the family and like learning all these things about them for the first time that are like a really big deal, and she's like, "I just didn't find the right moment to tell you," and I'm like, "Shut the fuck up! This is so annoying. I hate that."
This is maybe just like a getting older thing, but I watch so many things now that I'm like, man, this movie wouldn't have happened if like two characters would have just had a conversation at some point. Like the whole movie, and I'm like, it honestly just deflates all the tension, because you're like, this is just not a real, like this, none of this needs to happen. It kind of feels like the thing you're describing with all the unlucky stuff. You're just like, it's just all just not, but I don't know, maybe people don't communicate in real life. I guess they don't,
but so to just finish my thought about the first one versus the second one, I enjoyed Meet the Fockers because, and maybe this is because I'm a child, but there's a lot of like sex-related humor in it, because the Fockers, which is Ben Stiller's family, because in the second movie, then the girl's family is going over to meet his family for the first time. And his mom is like a sex therapist for elderly people, and his dad is like he used to be a lawyer, but he like retired to be a stay-at-home dad. King behavior, honestly. But so they're just like a super laid back kind of like, I don't know if I would call them hippies really. Maybe you would call them hippies back in the 2000s. But it's just like, they're very laid back. The mom is very like open about sexuality because she's a sex therapist. And so there's a lot of jokes involving that. But like, honestly, I thought as a couple they're kind of based, at least compared to the girl's family, and I really enjoyed all their characters. And I, it would have been like raunchy to me if I had seen it when I was younger, but now that I'm an adult, it didn't really actually seem raunchy. It just seemed like, I don't know, they just seemed like fun people, to be honest.
That it's interesting to hear that, because like normally I feel like when you watch comedies from like the early 2000s, you're expecting a lot of like, not, I wouldn't say what you just said is like wholesome per se, or like progressive or woke or whatever, but like you would expect a lot of, I would assume the whole movie was like sex jokes based on their last name sounding like fuck. And I'm sure there are some of those.
There are some of those, yes.
But it sounds like it's not trashy in the way that I maybe thought it was, at least not the first two.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so. And so I wonder if, that's what I'm trying to read real quick, like what Wikipedia is not even telling me what the critics didn't like about it, but it has a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes. And so I wonder if like at the time that this came out, which was 2004, maybe the Fockers family like actually was supposed to be a joke, because like look how ridiculous it is that like they're so open about sex or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
And people were like, that's not funny.
I actually thought it was kind of sick. Yeah. I like really liked them as people.
Huh.
And they didn't even like really say anything outrageous. It like really was kind of tame.
Well, how much distance is there between, because if I remember right, like Meet the Parents and Meet the Fockers were pretty close together, but then the third one was like not that, it was like 2012 or something, right? Like it was a ways later.
Meet the Parents 2000, Meet the Fockers 2004, which is interesting because...
Oh, that's longer than I thought.
I don't know if maybe we just saw Meet the Fockers in a higher resolution, but I remember thinking they all looked way older than Meet the Parents. And it's
4 years took their
4 years. And so the next one that we have yet to watch is Little Fockers, which I assume is about when they have kids. And that's
that doesn't sound like it's going to be good.
No, me and Noah were already talking about this. We're like, unfortunately, we're going to have to get ready for a lot of like little kid humor, which is probably going to be like, Jimmy pooped in the bathtub. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. I'm not looking forward to that, really. But so this is 2010.
Well, it'll be worth it for the new one.
So in between the first two was 4 years, and then it was 6.
What? And they're doing another one?
And they're doing another one now.
Isn't Robert De Niro like 90? I guess whatever. He can do whatever he wants.
Something like that.
Yeah.
How old is he?
82, it looks like.
82?
He's Italian.
Do they live long?
I guess I could have guessed that. No, I was just deciding to oust his race for no reason, I guess. I don't know. Just decided to say that.
Not his race.
He's a gangster. Well, isn't that his race? Isn't that what Italian means? Or not what Italian means, but like, Italian is a race, is it not?
I would say nationality, right?
It's also a race. Okay, so is... Name if I'm gonna say something and you tell me if it's a race or a nationality. Like if I go, this person's Somalian, is that not like a race also? Irish, German.
I mean, race is Russian. A very human-made concept. Completely depends who you're asking.
Yeah, it's all human-made, but it's like we do delineate genetic. This sounds like I'm about to say something really horrible, but I'm not. Just like people in clusters will develop characteristics socially, and it's all made up. But I don't know. I thought Italian counted as a race.
Well, if you're talking about Maybe social stuff, then you're talking about ethnicity, not race.
Oh, I was thinking about ethnicity. You're totally correct. Yeah. I was just using the wrong word. Ethnicity.
I think race-wise, if we're going by
race
like...
is human. Isn't it human race?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of controversy about if race even really exists. Like, people try to make genetic distinctions and stuff that may or may not be valid. But I think if you're looking at like 23andMe, which of course is a scientific institution.
Yeah.
I think they usually just say, I've never done it, but like I've seen other people's results, and I think they usually consider the race to be like just white European, and then they kind of try to narrow it down by nationality a little bit. I don't know how valid any of that is, but... Yeah,
is this one of those things where if you ask a scientist, they just go like, yeah, race it doesn't really exist. It's not really a thing. Like, I wonder if it's just like
I think in a lot of people's opinions, yeah. I mean, because there's evidence to say that like, we weren't even talking about race as humans until we started trying to discriminate against each other based on it.
Right. Which would be my assumption, because like that's back in the day, didn't like when they had old like 18th century scientists would be like, there are 4 races. There's some of these are maybe words that I don't feel like I should say anymore necessarily, but
probably
they basically divide them based on the class that they want to give to the people to make the laws based around whatever.
I think a lot of the definitions of race have been beneficial for certain groups for it to be defined like that.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
I don't have to tell you.
I guess colloquially,
anyway, I'm glad that we got on that conversation about whether race exists when I was talking about Meet the Fockers.
Yeah, Robert De Niro, he ties us all together. When are you going to watch the third one?
In those movies, I'll say that.
Well, some people would say that Italian. I'm just kidding. Some people would say that, but we don't need to go back into that. It's fine.
We'll watch the third one soon, maybe this weekend or something.
So you might have an update for us next week, is the point.
Very likely. Very likely, because I do. Well,
and then I want to see the fourth one is...
I'm invested now. The fourth one, I don't even know when it comes out.
Oh, so it could be a little while. But hopefully by the time it comes out, you don't forget to tell us all about it.
I am excited about this weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend.
Is it?
Happy post-Memorial Day weekend to everybody listening to this. It will have happened already.
Wow. That's so exciting.
But
what
famously
are you
known
going to the lake, or what's are you going to go to the ocean?
We are going to the lake. For non-Americans, Memorial Day is just one of these days that everybody Not everybody, actually. That's actually sad to say. A lot of people have to work anyway. But it's one of these days that you're supposed to get off work if you have a job that allows that, which is usually like a office job where you don't have to do much anyway.
Yep.
And then all the normal people that work in like restaurants and healthcare and stuff obviously still have to work.
Yeah. Which is good, because then how else would I go to get food and then go to the ER on Memorial Day if not for those people, right?
Yeah, that's your average Monday afternoon. So
for me,
yeah,
sometimes
you'd be really screwed.
Are you a fan of the armed force? I don't know what I'm talking about. What are you doing this weekend?
Have you actually had to go to the ER for yourself before?
No. I was thinking about how there's kind of a hierarchy in my brain because we just finished watching
a handful
the Pit,
of times,
both seasons of The Pit. Have you seen The Pit?
No. This is a TV show?
I feel like, yes, it's, I would say, a good to very good TV show.
Never
Sometimes
even heard
great.
Of it.
It's just like a very, very accurate and compelling emergency room medical drama that takes place over one shift. So it's like 10 episodes, 1 hour each episode, and it takes place over the course of a single shift at an ER. And it's just got very, very, based on beloved Dr. Mike's opinion, and also just general opinion, just very medically accurate.
I like how from the podcast, it seems like you're watching Dr. Mike constantly.
Every day. Not every day, but...
It seems like you've got notifications on. You're watching Dr. Mike like no one else.
I'm trying to get... He's my new Jimmy. I'm over Jimmy, okay? Or I'm out. Right. It's out. I think Jimmy's on the outs.
They've probably done something together, right?
I don't think they have.
Dr. Mike.
I don't think so. I haven't seen Dr. Mike overlap with any of those like
titles in their name. Dr. Mike and Mr. Beast.
True. What, Mr. Beast? They both must have some kind of degree. He should be Dr. Beast.
Yeah, he's got a Mr. degree.
Yeah.
Dr. Mike has reacted to Mr. Beast content, but I don't know if they've actually collabed.
Yeah. Anyway, I was thinking about the ER because of watching The Pit, and I was like, there's really two tiers of going to the ER. There's bring yourself to the ER and sit in the waiting room. But for the true ER experience, we're talking ambulance straight into the trauma bay. And I was wondering if you've ever done that.
No.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like that's like, you get the full, experience doing it that way. That's not the way to do it, but it's like, that's how you can truly judge the ER experience versus the waiting room as like a whole.
And then you get
just sit there.
$20,000 ambulance bill later, from what I've heard.
That's exactly right. Someone's got to pay those drivers.
Dude, me and Noah were talking to this guy. When we were in Japan in December, absolutely insane thing happened where I can't remember if I told this story in the pod already, but we ran into this girl that I went to my Japanese school with like several years prior that lives there now. But like there was no coordination. I haven't talked to this girl in like a couple years. And we ended up and it was an insane location too, because it wasn't just like we were in some popular place in Tokyo. She lives in Aso, on Kyushu. It is called Kyushu, right? The southern island, I think it is.
Yes, it is.
She lives in Aso because it's basically right by Mount Aso, which is a volcano, because she's interested in volcanoes. She's like working at the volcano museum at Aso. And Noah and I were doing this big road trip around Kyushu, and we had stopped in Aso. We had gone to that museum. That's not where we saw her. We saw her when we were leaving. Wait, where did we go? We were taking a ferry because we were taking a ferry between two places in Kyushu. And I parked the car like in the line to get on the ferry. And then we walked in and got our tickets and came back out. And she and her boyfriend were parked the car behind us, right behind us.
Dang.
In the ferry line. It was the most insane coincidence of my life. And she like got out of the car and she was like, Memoria. I'm like, What the fuck? I just kept repeating what the fuck because I was like, what is the chances of this happening?
Yeah, dude,
it was like a remote area.
Nuts.
It was like a remote, like, because we were in nature. We were like looking at national parks and stuff. It made no sense.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. Anyway,
what? Now
the relation to the conversation was that.
Okay, that was like, am I stupid or does this have nothing to do with emergency rooms?
No, they're both British. Her and her boyfriend, both British originally. And so we were talking to them on the ferry because we had like an hour to just hang out on the ferry. It was awesome. And the sun was setting. It was a gorgeous, beautiful, serendipitous moment. It was literally so pretty. There's like mountains all around us. I'm reunited with this person randomly through the randomest circumstance.
It's beautiful.
But we end up talking about like differences between America and the UK and how like it's cool that they have universal healthcare, even though obviously there's like issues with it. And from what I understand, like people should be paid more and then there shouldn't be so much wait times and stuff. But the fact that they don't have to go into
there's
medical
some basic
debt
level
is
of care,
cool.
right, that everybody gets to have.
And we got on the concept of like ambulances and hospital bills and how like you can rack up thousands in medical debt very quickly if something horrible and life-threatening happens to you. And her boyfriend was just like flabbergasted, like asking all these questions about like how is that possible? Like what do you do? Like if you're dying, like, and at some point I was just like, yeah, I mean, if you're asking if like people just die because of that, yeah, people just die because they don't go to the hospital because they can't afford their medicine. People die because they just like, they need to take a medicine every day and it suddenly becomes $2,000 and they can't. And yes, they just die. So, that was just a crazy conversation because like, you know, we're supposed to be the best country in the world.
Well, of course we are, but there's some caveats. You know what's an interesting thing that I feel like they don't... Go ahead. You finish.
Just it's hard for people in other countries to even understand. Like, I don't think a lot of people understand the full extent of how bad it actually is for the poorest of our country. It's awful and depressing.
Pretty rough. One thing that I do think is interesting is I feel like it's interesting that how little, and this is obviously intentional, but how little people like the hospital billing department and the insurance companies and stuff tell you about how many options you actually do have for dealing with medical debt. Like it's generally speaking, there's like some exceptions to this, but generally speaking, your medical debt can't affect your credit score. It's very rarely can they like seize your assets like credit card debt can. They can't arrest you for it. It doesn't get passed on to your kids. And like nobody tells you these things to like really scare people, I feel like, into paying a bunch of money that they probably don't necessarily have to pay. I'm not telling anyone not to pay their medical debt necessarily. I'm not taking responsibility for that. But it's just wild how much obfuscation there is. You know, there's that trick that everyone says now of just like request an itemized bill, and then you're suddenly at like not 80%, but like 50% of the cost disappears if you request an itemized bill, and it's like, dude, what the fuck? That's crazy that happens.
Yeah, like
and this mostly works if you don't have insurance. But
a lot of hospitals have some type of financial assistance program. Yeah, that you just have to like apply for.
Medicare or Medicaid. Yeah,
but
not that it's easy or anything like that, but yeah, it's really, and I feel like they should have to have people on staff, and maybe they do, and maybe some hospitals do, but like someone whose job it is to be like, here's your options, because people think that, and I'm not saying it's pleasant, and I've never had it, so you know, I'm not trying to speak to it, but people think that if you have a bunch of medical debt that you just straight up can't pay, they can like arrest you and take all your money and stuff, and in some cases, very very rarely they can, but for the most part, not that you don't have to pay it, but you have more options than you think. And I just think it's so fucked that they hide all that stuff from people, you know, just to basically scrape what they can from them before they learn about it.
Maybe partly that they're hiding it, and partly that, and like genuinely, I would love some insight in the comments if people deal with like medical billing and know what is happening, because it seems like a lot of it is also that just nobody in the chain will take responsibility for informing people about anything. It's like the first information that you have about how much something is going to cost is usually when you get the bill. And the doctors or anybody at the hospital, they won't offer that information. They won't warn you that what they're suggesting it usually costs people a lot of money. You can ask about it, but then they usually have to like take several days to even get back to you with an estimate of how much it's going to cost. And if you don't ask, they won't tell you. I mean, like, I feel like constantly I'm getting medical bills that are like, oh, I didn't know when I agreed to this that it was going to cost me $2,000 even with good insurance, because nobody even mentions it. It's like, I think it's partly that it's hard to know because everybody has different insurance plans, and so they don't want to say something that's wrong. But it's also like bizarre to me. I mean, it's completely different in veterinary medicine, for example, because there's no insurance. You have to pay the whole bill. And so they're very upfront with you about like, this treatment is going to cost this much, or we could do this that's going to cost this much. And then you can make an informed decision. And the fact that that exists for vet med, but not for human med, like, is kind of crazy to me. Like, everybody's just kind of guessing what to do.
You know, slight counterpoint, because I'm putting myself in the shoes of somebody who would need a procedure to live, right? So let's say I need some procedure, and if I don't get it, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And it's going to cost like $150,000. Everybody in my life would want me to get that procedure. But I think if they told me that it was $150,000 up front, I would say, ooh, that's too much. I don't want to have, like I would second guess the idea of doing the right thing because of the money, which I actually don't want to do. And obviously the solution to this is to have universal healthcare.
Right.
But in this situation, I'm almost wondering if I would actually prefer to just go into medical debt, knowing that I can't pass that on to my kids anyway, and that they can't garnish my assets for the most part, and so on and so forth. Like, maybe it's better to just have it. But again, I've never been in a bunch of medical debt, so I don't know how horrible that really is.
And also it's
just a thought that came into head. Like, I'd probably let myself die to save a little money.
It's a more clear-cut situation if you know it's life or death. I think usually you don't, is my point. And usually there's
100%.
You're not really quite sure what's wrong, and there's multiple options you could take, and how much it's going to cost, unfortunately, is a factor in what you want to try to do. So yeah, complicated. Really complicated, but the point is I'm just wondering, there's more out there than for like people in the medical field. I'm wondering what you think the reason is. Is it that it's just hard to know, like I said, and you don't want to like tell a patient a price that ends up being different or wrong? Or is it that there's some kind of policy or training that you just don't talk about it? I don't know. I'm curious.
Yeah,
because
I actually wouldn't want the doctors.
Sometimes.
I wouldn't want the doctors to know. I don't want them to have to think about whether to recommend a certain treatment based on that. I think there should be another person. They deal with insurance
all the time. The doctors definitely know.
But ideally, they're not thinking, how much is this going to... Well, they probably are, though. You're probably right. That they're going, this is going to be way invasive and cost a bunch of money, and it's not actually that necessary. But in part of my head, I'm like, maybe somebody else should actually be thinking about that. And so they present the options as a doctor and go, here's all the options and here's what the best ones are. And now we'll go get someone to come figure out what the cost of these things are going to be.
I agree that the doctors shouldn't be thinking about it, but I think in reality they are.
But
and my problem is that it seems like nobody is thinking about it. It seems like nobody is telling anybody anything.
We'll just start kicking it down the road until you have to call some 1-800 number.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if I can get in touch with Dr. Mike. Hold on.
The way you say that, and then I hear you typing like you're sending him a DM. Let me just
I did DM Dr. Mike one time. He did not respond.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, no. I was trying to get him for a video for something, but I still haven't made that video. But oh well.
Dude, keep trying.
Maybe someday.
That would be epic.
I bet you we can make it happen. I'm sure it could happen. Maybe someone who listens to this knows him, and that he can come on the pod next week and explain all of healthcare to us.
Surely he would. I can absolutely see that happening for you. You just have to make a video involving a medical thing. I could definitely get him in a main channel video for sure. I'm curious if he would come on GLHF. Oh, to talk about your lead count.
Oh, true. He actually would. He probably would have had some thoughts on that. To be honest. All right. Well, we'll see if we can make it happen. Like, what kind of shows does he go on?
Dude, anything.
Like how small of a show?
He's going on everything. I feel he's always doing.
Yeah, but I feel like
and...
he's only going on stuff where he's going to pull like 300, 400, 500K views. I don't think he would come on we're kind of 10K
no, I mean,
people.
No, to answer your question, he's not coming on this podcast.
All right. Not until we get a little bigger. Someday.
But if you listen, do a main channel video with him in it first, and then you'll be tight. True. And you'll have his number and you'll be like, listen, if you have a spare hour.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to come up with some ideas. You got to come up.
I mean, the video has to be something health related in a video game. So you got to think of something there.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure I can come up with something.
Is the Skyrim diet ideal? You know, something like that.
Which video game has the most ideal diet?
Yeah.
Or we could do,
that's completely the kind of stuff he would do. Just based on the thumbnails. I don't watch him religiously like you do, but I see him in thumbnails.
Is there I want a game
and his biceps.
Where you play as an insurance agent for a healthcare industry, and then I want a game where you play as a doctor, and I want to get an insurance guy to play as the doctor and Dr. Mike to play as the insurance guy and see whose life is harder. That's what I want.
Okay. Kind of a wife swap situation.
A big wife swap situation, yes. Now we just need to find a charismatic insurance YouTuber.
Yeah, that might be the main challenge.
Might be a little tougher.
Anyway, how has it already been freaking like 50 minutes?
So crazy, because the next thing I was about to say was, God, it feels like we've been talking for 3 hours. So we're having different experiences right now. I don't know why. I just feel like time is flying by my brain today. I'm having a great time. Don't worry.
Boring?
No. I've been laughing. I've been hooting, hollering even.
What else did I have to say? What is your experience, if any, with religious people coming to your door? Because this just happened to me this morning.
Coming to your... Today?
Yeah.
I didn't know people still did that.
Oh, yeah.
We every once in a while we'd get a Jehovah's Witness in Minneapolis. But, yeah. No.
Because, like, now you are kind of more in an apartment, right? So you probably don't get people coming directly to your door.
Correct. Yeah. There's not... You couldn't, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. What do they want?
Oh, they just wanted
to see if you wanted to be religious?
Well, they just wanted to give me a pamphlet and tell me about God. And, you know, they said some vague stuff about, with everything going on in the world right now, it makes you wonder, like, who's running the world? Which I could have had some things to say about that. Is that an Illuminati
implication?
No, they were talking about God. They said the Bible has the answer. They gave me a little pamphlet. And I was just trying to kind of be polite and smile and nod and say, okay, have a good day, close the door. And then I guess because I'm being a little too polite, because I don't want to be rude, but because I smile, then they think they have an in, you know?
Right, they say, we got her.
And so
She's coming on.
So they hand me the pamphlet. I'm like about to say goodbye and close the door. And I guess I had a little bit too good of an attitude because she was like, okay, well, yeah, take a look at that, and then maybe I'll come back later to talk about it more. And
you said, no.
And I went,
maybe don't.
Well, to be honest, I'm really not religious, I don't think. And she's like, yeah, but like I could ask you some questions about it later.
Yeah.
I don't know how to respond in that situation. It's so awkward because I do not want her to come back to my house.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. You could just say no, but like that's hard. Because like there is, I mean, the correct answer is there's no way to do it and not seem rude because they are positioning themselves as a really nice person, right? Which is because I'm gonna
be disappointing them regardless. Because obviously they want me to say yes. So maybe I just need to be comfortable disappointing people.
I wonder what percentage of people they get with that. It must work, I guess. Or maybe they do it more for themselves than for the actual recruitment value.
A lot of people are just rude. Maybe I should just be more
religious
rude.
People?
Like people,
you're talking about...
You know, like they'll put no solicitor signs up and they'll get like pissed off when people knock on their door. I like to try to give people a chance. You know, I'm in here alone on the computer all day, sometimes I'm like, I'll have a conversation with somebody at the door.
Could be fun. Finally, someone to talk to.
I've been ruminating in my own mind for 12 hours. Maybe I'll give it a shot. But
have you ever tried really talking to them? Like, you ask the questions?
I mean, usually not at length, because again, I don't want to. I don't know. If it's a religious thing, I just kind of want it to be over as soon as possible, because I also don't want to be one of these people that's like starting an argument about atheism with them. I don't want to do that.
Excuse me, but have you thought about science, perhaps?
Because there's people that do that. They'll answer the door, and then they'll like treat it as an opportunity to like debate the Christian people, and I don't care enough to possibly do that.
They're going to be like, oh, what about a Russell's teapot with around the sun?
But yeah, I can't say honestly that my willingness to open the door to people has ever led to anything positive. It's usually uncomfortable, and then I'm trying to
That's a
think
good
of
point.
How to get out of it. There was one person recently that was just like some retired lady that was going around canvassing for a bill that we just voted on, and I like agreed with her. It was about like keeping our waterways clean or something. And so I actually that was cool and good, and I was like encouraging her, because I'm like, this is important and it's cool that you're doing this, because it seemed like she was just of her own accord just going around telling people to vote on it.
Yeah.
But 90% of the time, like I'm laughing because Noah's going to listen to this episode, and I haven't even told him about this because I was a little bit embarrassed about it. But when we lived in Indiana, and he was at school and I was home, because all my school was online after COVID. So he would actually go into school because he had to do like practical labs and stuff, and I would just be like home alone all day. But I did get trapped by a vacuum salesman for like half an hour.
Jesus. I didn't know people actually did that. That's like something from the 1960s.
He came in the house and demoed the vacuum.
Ma'am, that's crazy.
Because you know what they did?
All right. We're taking the time. Back up to the very beginning. Tell me the whole thing. I want to know everything that happened.
It was a bait and switch. It wasn't fair.
You're telling me he plugged it in.
Yes.
He turned it on.
Yes.
And did he sprinkle something on the rug to show you how good it was? Or did he just point and go, that rug's filthy, give me a chance?
I mean, kind of both. So to start at the beginning, you have to understand I was tricked, because it was a woman and a man.
I'd say that was pretty clear. Yeah,
it was a woman and a man that came to the door, and they were just holding a little spray bottle of some cleaner. And the way they phrased it was, do you mind if we show you a demo of a cleaning product? That's what they said. And they were holding this little spray bottle of something.
Oh, that's clever, isn't it?
And I thought they were going to like write on a whiteboard and spray it off in front of me right there at the door. And then because I said sure, suddenly they're going back to the truck. They're picking a vacuum up.
And you felt at that point, because you said sure, you can't take it back, obviously.
I guess. I mean, it was bizarre. So it turns out the little...
So they go to get the vacuum, and you just go, all right, come on in.
I mean...
You have to. That's so funny.
I felt bad. And then, like, the guy... So, first of all, they were, like, shocked that I said yes, which should have been a clue to me. But the woman was older. The guy was, like, early 20s. And I think he was new. I don't know how many times he'd even done this. But he seemed very, like, nervous. But it was basically, like, she dropped him off. Like, she was driving the truck with the vacuums in it. And, like, I don't know, maybe they had a truck full of 21-year-old boys going around selling these things.
Come on out. Chris, come here.
But so she dropped him off. He didn't even have his own vehicle. She dropped him off to do the demo. Was like, okay, good luck, goodbye. And then there's this man with a vacuum trying to demo this vacuum. He was like extremely appreciative that I said yes, because I think he gets paid based on like how many demos he does. So in that way, I'm like, okay, I did this kid a favor, I guess.
Maybe he got like commission, yeah.
Like he's getting paid because I let him do this. But, I mean, he has a whole script. He's going through the motions. It's long as fuck. He's sprinkling stuff on the carpet. He's vacuuming it up. He's trying to just... I think one of the things they do is just, like, vacuum your carpet a bunch to be like, look how much dirt the average person has in their carpet and they don't even know. But I'm very good at cleaning my house. I clean my house all the time. And so he wasn't getting anything just by vacuuming my rug.
Right. He didn't know he was talking about a cleaning tips expert right now. He didn't know what house
like
he
I
just walked
vacuum a
into.
lot because we've always had cats. We have to vacuum up the cat hair. And so when he's trying to do just like getting regular dirt out of my rug, he keeps going, oh, well, you keep a very clean house. Because he can't get anything in the vacuum. I don't even remember everything he did, but it took forever, dude. And then it ended up
more than 20 minutes, more than 30 minutes.
It was between 20 and 30 minutes, maybe. Which is why it's so
humiliating. Have a random guy in your house.
I've never told Noah this, and now he's going to hear this. And be like,
I can't get over the fact
did you allow this to happen?
At some point that day, Noah comes home and goes, "Oh, how was your day?" And you just go, "Oh, it's fine. It's no big deal." Like you just totally give it to yourself. You're like, "Oh yeah, nothing. I don't know, just regular day."
It was embarrassing.
Because I guess what would you have said? You would have said, "Well, there was this vacuum cleaner guy came in the house for 25 minutes," and he would go, "Hold on." That's crazy.
Because Noah would have never let him in the house. I know.
Yeah, I can picture that. No.
But then it was so awkward at the end because he was very appreciative again that I let him do it. And I was like, okay, sure, it's no problem, man. I get it. Like, you're training, it's cool that you made some money off this, whatever. And then he has to, like, call the lady to come pick him up. He's like, I'm done.
What kind of... Do you remember the, like, was it a brand?
It's the vacuum company that does this. What are they called? It's like they make all their sales
Do they
door to door.
This is still a thing?
What the heck is it? Is it Kirby? Is it Kirby Vacuums? I don't remember.
Kirby is a vacuum cleaner company. I just can't picture.
But it's like you can't buy them other than this situation. Like,
oh, it's like a random,
I don't know.
event that occurs and you get blessed and like, oh shit, please, I hope it comes today.
I think it was a Kirby vacuum, and I will say I looked them up after this guy left, and people love them. At least, I mean, maybe it is also like a sunk cost fallacy thing because they cost a bunch of money and they like put on all this effort to sell them. But there's people online saying they've had a Kirby vacuum in their family for 30 years and it's like the best vacuum ever.
So maybe you missed out.
But it is extremely expensive and, at the end of his spiel, I used the excuse that obviously I'm a grad student. I don't have like $1,500 or whatever the fuck to pay for a vacuum. So
yeah. But you let him in the house just because.
So I shouldn't have done it.
What was the energy between the two of you? Was it like he understood that he was just like doing a thing and it was like, all right, I'm just going to get it done? Or was he like actually thinking you were going to get something?
The energy was obviously he wants to make the sale because that's what he's supposed to do. And he's in training and he probably earns a commission on it or something. But he seemed nervous. It seemed like maybe the first or second time that he had actually done the in-home demo. And he seemed like anxious about it.
If only, talk about an interesting thing to have to do because you said he seemed like youngish, right? Like 20?
Yeah, probably early 20s.
I don't know. Yeah, how could a 20-year-old? I guess those are the only people you could get to do it, though. So.
Yeah, I mean,
have to be 20-year-olds.
This is probably one of those jobs you get like at a temp agency or like they're just emailing random people or putting it on Craigslist. And they're like, need salespeople.
I could probably get a job doing that. How can I become a door-to-door salesman?
Do you think you would be a good salesman?
I mean, I'm good at selling underpants.
Wait, yeah, you are a salesman.
Yeah, so that's my job. So I better be good. Bring me.
Sorry, I didn't even think of that.
Bring me in. Let me make commission. I quit YouTube. Turns out you can make way more money selling vacuum cleaners. Or probably real estate would be the move for me. I could probably make buck.
Wait, really?
Make bank. That's the word.
Are you just goofing or are you looking up how much money they make? Do they make a lot of money?
I think real estate, if you do like high value real estate and you work on commission, don't you get like
well, real
5
estate,
to 10%?
sure. I'm sure they make a lot of money.
You're saying
But
how much does a door-to-door
fucking
vacuum
Kirby
salesman make?
make?
Apparently anywhere from like 60 to 120 grand a year.
Yeah,
if
that's
you
not
like
worth
work really
it.
hard. Yeah, it probably isn't. It'd be fun though. Maybe.
It's fun for some people. That kind of thing. Oh my God, talk about this kid being nervous. I would be the worst salesperson on earth. I would be like sweating, pit stains, like so nervous every single time. Because I feel bad when somebody else buys me lunch. Are you like me doing a whole like corporate spiel and then somebody spending $1,500? I would literally feel like a villain.
No, actually, it is like a really crazy thing because I feel like a lot of these people, like, the reason you make money is because it's like an old person who like doesn't really know, or like you pressure someone into it, and that is just like not good.
No,
it's not like a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But that's the thing is like to be good at it, you have to turn off that part of your brain and just be like, whatever makes the sale.
Yeah, because it's not like there's any. Well. Maybe there are, but I feel like every door-to-door sales company is selling something that like people don't necessarily need, even if it's like a functional product, like a Kirby vacuum. It's like most people don't actually need it at the time that it's being sold to them. But yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, I highly doubt anybody actually needs anything a door-to-door salesman is selling.
Except ice cream.
That's the reason they gotta go door-to-door. Dude, I love an ice cream truck. What the heck happened to ice cream trucks?
Same. You don't have them at all?
Do they still do them in New Orleans?
Sometimes, yeah. There's a couple.
I haven't seen an ice cream truck in a long time.
There's a lot of them in Minneapolis in the summertime. You can catch an ice cream truck pretty frequently. Get a little Sonic the Hedgehog situation.
The way I used to fucking break my neck as a kid if I heard an ice cream truck.
Yeah.
Immediately have to figure out where it is.
What a fantastic, delicious idea. We used to have this guy called the Schwann's Man. You ever get the Schwann's Man?
No. Is that an ice cream brand?
It was like Schwann's was like a frozen...
Schwann's?
I don't know if maybe it doesn't exist anymore, but when we were a kid, it was like if the Schwann's Man was coming by, it looked like an industrial truck. So it was like an ice cream truck, but you would buy like frozen chicken nuggets and like pizzas out of it. So it would sell like frozen food. And I remember... And
you would be excited about this?
My mom was so excited. It was like for adults kind of. And she was like, oh my God, the Schwann's Man. She would give us money and go, I don't remember. I think she would give us money and be like, get me these ice cream pops and these chicken wings or whatever. And it was just... And you can't just get this at the grocery store? I wasn't thinking about it. You just assume when you're a kid that whatever your parents excited about, there's like a reason, right? So like, this must be the only place we can get this stuff.
It's just the fact that it's a random event makes it so much more exciting. The fact that it's just a truck that shows up unexpectedly. Because like, I probably had ice cream in the freezer at home, but the fact that there was an ice cream truck out there.
Yeah. What other things in our lives can we make random? Because I feel like it would spice things up. Like we could put the pot out randomly. That wouldn't be as fun for people. But I don't know. You're right that like a random event is more fun. Something happened.
Somebody coming to your door could be a fun random event. It's just unfortunate that it's always not. Almost always.
Almost always not. It's often, just slightly bad. Very rarely is it truly horrible.
That's a good way to describe it.
But it's
often slightly bad. It is.
Yeah. So, oh well.
That's what I get for trying to... That's
the way of the world.
Trying to be accepting of my community. I gotta stop opening the door.
Yeah, you probably do. Or use it as an opportunity to practice. Oh, you just whacked me. You killed me. You collapsed my liver.
Bye! Oh, bye!
Dang, my frog is still totally collapsed.
Wait, there's all kinds...
He's up.
There's all kinds of games. Look at my freaking butt. Ew.
Oh, there are tons of games.
There's, Oh, what is it called? You push these things. You push them and
curling.
you broom them. Curling.
How did I already forget how to get on the sled? Oh, there it is. Whee! Look at us go, just sliding. There's an igloo. You think you can go all the way out to the tops of all these mountains?
I don't know, you want to go?
I'm just gonna walk to this one and see what happens.
We do have a map, so I'm guessing you probably can't go off the map. But if you equip the map and hold click, then you can see it. So we can go pretty far, but I'm guessing it would stop eventually.
Yeah, probably.
It's so sad that, like, I buy these games for the pod and then we just stand in them and never actually experience anything you can do in the game. This looks cute. People in the comments recommended it.
Halfway decent, yeah.
It seems like a fun little
cute
spot
thing to hang out with.
Hang out with your friends, play some curling.
I agree.
Sled.
I agree completely.
Can make snowballs.
Do you have a favorite, like, was there ever an online game you played with friends that was just like, it turned into just like hanging out as opposed to playing the game for the purpose of the game?
I'm sure at some point.
I guess I
don't play a lot of multiplayer games.
Guild Wars,
TBH.
didn't you, right?
Yeah,
you were
Guild Wars. Yeah.
Yeah. A classic.
I'm a freaking nerd.
Good. I mean, you're paying the bills.
I'm gonna grind this pipe. Woo!
Sick. I'm just walking into the distance like that penguin in that documentary.